Margaret, you're one of the few female CEOs on the Fortune 500. There are only 24 of you on that list, and you've told me that you feel it is your responsibility to bring more women into leadership positions. How are you going about doing that?
I am one that has made it, so I want people to, in my company, particularly women, to feel like they have the ability to achieve. So one of the things we've done and worked really hard at is making sure we're developing women throughout the company. You know, we started with our board to make sure we had a really diverse board, and then we have programs that we're working on to develop women mid-level and even entry-level women to try to get them into a bigger job. So we've had great success. We measure our teams around diversity in general, including women, and I can say that you know, last year 60% of the people who were promoted inside the company were diverse.
You have a very inspiring story of how you ended up to be the CEO of Synchrony, daughter of a New York City cop, first one in your family to go to college. You started working the phones in a call center and worked your way up to the C-suite. How do you use this story to mentor young women and also men?
I think sometimes people feel like you have to grow up and have the certain pedigree to make or be a CEO, and I think what I've been able to tell people my story is a lot around hard work, tenacity, and the ability to really break through. And when I do go out, I know that they look at me as a possible role model for them. So I'm pretty clear on telling people you really can aspire and be whoever you want to be. It takes hard work.
You told me that you often were surprised and frustrated when some women were offered a leadership job and then turned it down because they had doubts about their readiness or they were fearful of failing. Do you see any, you know, given this whole Me Too movement, do you see that there's been a change that's come about, that it's empowered more women?
I still think women are still second guessing themselves, and it's something that I think we all have to continue to make sure we're encouraging them to really go that next step. And I think the positive of the Me Too movement is it is giving women voice, and I think women are coming out and speaking more openly. In one way, it's a shame we have to have Me Too, but in a really positive way, I think the fact that women are speaking up and speaking out is really going to be empowering.
We're seeing the rise of these so-called activist CEOs who are speaking up on, you know, gender, racial diversity, immigration. There's a whole slew of politicized issues. How do you feel about getting engaged on some of these issues, and do you think that moral leadership is now a job requirement for you as CEO?
Well, I think being a thoughtful and caring and respectful leader is something we should all be. I can't fix everything that's happening in the outside world, but I can certainly control what's happening in our company. And the thing that I want to make sure everyone feels is they can be their authentic self, they can come to work, they can share what they're going through, and we're going to be a caring family organization that's going to nurture our employees to be the best that they possibly can be.
So is that why you went to Charlotte at the time when there was that huge debate about the bathroom law and then the subsequent police shooting? Is that why you went down there?
I think the number one thing I wanted to accomplish is to let the employees know I recognize that there are challenges that they're facing. And I think, you know, if you look at what Starbucks just did in the videos that they produced, which talked a little bit about what people think about when they walk, who are diverse, who walk out of their house and while they're going to their workplace. You know, I sent those videos out to my team and I said, you know, we can create the greatest workplace internally, but people are dealing with these issues as they're coming to work. And we can't forget that. And we have to make sure that when they get to our office and our company, we're really thinking about the challenges they face outside of the company.
Mm-hmm. This whole area of CEOs speaking up or taking a stand on some of these social and political problems is really new. Is there anyone that you see, any CEO who you think is a role model, someone that other CEOs can learn from him or her about how to do the right thing?
Well, I actually follow Tim Cook on Twitter, and I do think, and I know he's the speaker tonight, I think he's a CEO who's really speaking out. I think Starbucks and Howard Schultz and what he just did recently with the challenges that they faced, I think they faced right into the challenges and took a really high and important road and opened up a dialogue that I think we all need to continue to have.